Welcome back to Politics Watch. This is Sir P. Now today I'm going to talk about a rather interesting article that was in the Gleaner. Basically, you've heard the recent story about the 87 known as Bunwaist, the one who took the life of Constable Kemar Francis. Right now, the Gleaner went around the community and they talked to some people, and the response from the community is very interesting. I'm going to talk about it in this video. But before I go any further, people, take a look at your screen. Would you believe it? Just yesterday I did the video where I was calling out the police officers, or the trolls, because I can't even take them seriously as police officers, who were in the 9-night for the fallen police officer. Fire off one bag of wild shot in the ear, right? I go on like say, them are 87s, right? I break every curfew they can break, every rule they can break, every law they can break. I do them one thing, right? As if them feel like say, them above the very law that they are sworn to enforce. I said, listen, if JCF don't bring these men under some kind of reprimand within 7 days, we can't take them seriously. And they must go get rid of this whole heap of curfew and lock off party and lock off 9-night and lock off all these things because they've lost all credibility. I said 7 days. I thought 7 days was enough time. Guess what? Less than 24 hours. We're now hearing that JCF has interdicted 4 men, 4 police officers. Listen, there were more than 4 people firing, but maybe only 4 of them was police, or maybe them not catch the others yet. But even so, let me just commend the JCF for this. Let me say I am thoroughly impressed. Less than a day, that shows you exactly what I'm talking about, that there is a battle going on inside a JCF right now between the trolls who are hell-bent on destroying any kind of reputation and trust the public can have in JCF, and the officers who are trying to improve and modernize the force. There is a battle, and just like back in the day when you have Frazier versus Ali or Tyson versus Lewis, one threw a heavy punch, next one threw a heavy punch, I saw them trade punches. The video, that was when the LIQ police them landed a heavy blow, and we say, boy, it look like JCF or Saga. It look like say them are going to take the knee, them are going to throw in the towel. But what do you know? JCF go into the corner, splash the water upon them face, and come back and land 2 haymakers. This is impressive. I have to give them credit. Less than a day. For those of you who don't know what interdicted mean, it basically means the police them, they take off a duty, right? And I can better say no for them are going to end up losing firearms, right? And any licensed firearm holder we did it, listen, your name probably get sent into, and you're going to lose that too. Imagine, look how much people are wait 3-4 years for licensed firearm in Jamaica, and idlers have them in an illegal 9-night a fire off a bag of wild shot. Hey, as the Americans say, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. You don't have nobody to blame but themselves. Right, so let's move into the story about the Bunwaist or 87 from Maxfield Avenue and Constable Kemar Francis. Right, now check this out, people. I'm going to just pick out a couple of excerpts from the story. Come on, understand really like one. So the first one that stood out to me was this. Listen up. And it's on your screen right now, by the way. So it says, and I quote, "And as such, according to those with knowledge of the incident last Friday in which Police Constable Kemar Francis, 27, was shot to death, there was not much hope for the unsuspecting lawman and his sole partner to defend themselves, having responded to a call of loud music in the face of known cruelty." Let me stop that right there, so end quote. So let's get this straight. Let's recreate the scene. They got reports that there were gunshots being fired around Maxfield, right? And they were responding to the gunshot. They were going into one of the most acidic communities in Jamaica. Maxfield Avenue produce so many 87s, as me say, them export them like our country export banana, like our China export mask. That's how much 87s come from Maxfield. And they went around there, and this is trying to claim that they were unsuspecting lawman and his sole partner. They outnumbered Bunwaist. It was not a case where they went around there and a group of 87s attacked them. That is not what happened. This is written like say, like 2 women are come from work one night, a man jump out of the bush on them and draw them away, right? That's unsuspecting. There should be nothing unsuspecting for any police officer in Jamaica who will go anywhere near Maxwell Avenue. Unsuspecting? And what's strange is the article finished by saying, having responded to a call of loud music in the face of known cruelty. In the face of known cruelty, keyword known, but unsuspecting, listen, make up on the mind. That word should not exist in the JCF vocabulary. You are patrolling and operating in one of the most violent nations on planet Earth. Unsuspecting? Listen, every morning you wake up and put on your uniform, you should be fully aware of the fact that it may very well be your last. That is the attitude that is going to keep you alive. Every single patrol stop, every single search, every single time you walk in a yard, every time you open a door, every time you turn a corner, you must expect the unexpected. Unsuspecting? Okay. Alright, let me move on. Now I will not on part too long. I thought it was very interesting. We can see what the rest of the article say. But just remember, Bonways did not hide in one corner and shoot at the police team. Then pull on upon him, there was an exchange, and then they shot them start fire. So that in itself made the whole unsuspecting thing. Anyway, let me move on. He goes on to state, and now the people might talk about Bonways. Them say, and I quote, him cruel. Him is an evil boy. I remember when we were younger, Bonways dig a hole in the community and bury couple dogs alive. Bonways dig a hole and bury couple dogs alive. Not a dog, but couple dogs alive. If you wanted any sort of example to demonstrate the type of person we were talking about, that is it right there. To bury a dog alive because it a bark too much, that is not your average run-of-the-mill individual. It is safe to say this brother here have some kind of problem, because the fact that him never even just kill the dog. With people that say, well, we've heard that before, because we know Jamaica is a place the man poison dog just cause. People poison dog and chop up dog just cause, right? Even so-called good people, right? Dog come in and them they know the dog get poisoned, dog get chop up, all kind of things. Them things that happen in Jamaica all over the place. Jamaica has a terrible history when it comes on to animal treatment. We're getting better now, right? I see the attitude is slowly changing. People are no longer tolerating certain kind of abuse towards animals, right? But listen, there was a time when if a dog even walk past certain place, next thing you know, next day it dead, poison, foot chop off, hand chop off, right? But this brother I take it to the next level. Him bury them alive. So the dog under the ground, and you know, say, you can imagine the kind of cruelty an animal would go through, being buried under the dirt, slowly dying. That was Bonways. Bonways the 87. Now, let's move on to other parts of the article. Now, this is the part where we know enough people that I wait for. Check this out, we can start from the top. And it says, I quote, the gleaner gathered that the firearm used to kill Constable Francis has not been retrieved. Sources said it was hidden by the residents. Hold on right there, so. Stop right there, so. It was hidden by who? The residents? That's strange. That's very strange. I mean the residents. So surely if the residents can hide firearms after 87 is drop out and doesn't know, say, alright, take up the gun and go hide it. If residents can know that, then how reliable and dependable are these residents' statements are when certain police shootings go on? I mean, I'm just saying, right? Because remember, for example, in Augustown and other places, residents come out and say this and that, and then, them do autopsy and realize that there wasn't a 3 rounds in a chest. You see where I'm going with this, right? Put residents in a quotation mark. You see why did residents? Let's move on. Some of whom attempted to assist the injured Johnson to hospital after he momentarily invaded the cops because he was injured, right? Check this out. It says, and I quote, them same one have the gun. You know the system thing, machine have to secure. You see, in the system, the machine, the strap, the weapon, the tool, the piece, whatever you want to call it, is more important than the 87's life. Then they teach you that in a criminology course at Canada. In acidic communities, the machine, the Glock, the Taurus, the Smith & Wesson, it's more important than the life of the 87. The system would rather lose the 87 than lose the gun. Because if you lose the 87, well, there's always another one on the conveyor belt. We can replace him easy. There's always, and even, listen, right now, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them I make push out 15 years time, ready for the road. But what the system really don't like is having to replace a gun. The gun work more than the life of the 87s, and enough 87 don't know that. Enough 87 don't know that till them lost the gun. Then them realize that the system of them that work for how long, and the man that sending up on so much ups, end up kill them. Because I think they say, why would you kill one of your loyal 87s then over a missing gun? Why if you lose a gun, you know, say, boss, you have to run from police and you have to dash at the gun. You would think they done it as well. Alright, I understand you have to dash at the gun because, you know, at least you're here, we can get you for more ups. No, you get dash away. Because I bet you dash away yourself because the gun more important than you. Enough man don't know that. Enough man don't even realize that until it's too late. Right? So check this out. It goes on to say, them said them a look for other men and must distract them looking for. That's because there was no other men. A Bunways alone shoot the officer. There was no shootout between groups of men and the police. That did not happen. That did not happen. If you hear say, there was they might look for other men who were in the shooting, that's because that way it make it sound better. It make it sound better. That way you can work with the unsuspecting arguments. Say, oh boy, them grown and them get outnumbered and outgunned, but that wasn't the case. That was not the case. Let's go on. It said people was trying to put him in a vehicle to go to hospital, but a radar car drive down and who run. Same place impronounced. Check this out now. Even in death, however, some residents are hailing Johnson. Remember, this is the same man who the same residents just declared as evil. Them just declared, said the man are the type of somebody will bury dogs alive and go for much innocent people, want kill him own family. But check this out, they were still impressed. They were still impressed when they talk about acidic. Then they teaching these things in criminology courses in Canada. Him go like a real top man. The same person who was just renounced as evil. The same person who by the own residents' word was a wicked youth. Him go like a real top man. Why? Because him live him life and him face it and sit there and not him alone drop. Me nah say the police did for dead cause of him work him do. But you know them are gonna say him think tough. Right away, them turn Raging King. Them a say the thing tough. A regular police murder gunman. A woman said. Come on, people. Me know if I wanna listen to that speech and I say, well, the youth talk to man. And say that the youth? That wasn't no youth. That was a woman. That was a woman who said that him go like a real top man. That's how you become a top man in acidic communities. That's how you become a legend. Kill police. He wasn't a top man because him achieved nothing in academics or in engineering or him never build nothing, him never run no wire and run the electricity and make people have light and him never cure no this, no. Him never go for, him never go, you will go make people say, John, no, that you come from Maxfield Avenue and look how brilliant him is, no. Him never go on, go be a part of any panel who end up change this and no. How did he become a top man? By shooting Constable Kemar Francis. That's how you become a top man in an acidic community. That's how you get women to look and say, John, that you're a real man. Let me tell you something right now. If Bunways did live, if Bunways did survive, and run away for 2 months and then come back into the place, he may have kerosene and open them foot from the top of Maxfield Avenue straight to the bottom. They may have seen man just start get wet. You da wonder if a Mona dam bust way. You da wonder if a some kind of storm a come, bare wet, foot just wet up, dripping. That's how Bunways would have been living if him never did. It's a woman said this. Him go out like a top man for killing a police. These are not my words. These are the words of the resident, and a woman resident at that. When you hear me talk about professional protesters, when you hear me talk about acidic communities and an acidic mindset, that's one thing. But when you hear it for yourself, make it all the more vivid. Make it all the more vivid. I could see what else interesting, because this article is fascinating when you really think about it. But let's split justice. Just like how 87s in a Maxfield, just like how kerosene's in a Maxfield, you have people in a Maxfield who tired of the foolishness, and you have people in a Maxfield who are law-abiding people who want to see the back of these 87s. Here is another one. This lady go on to state, from him they bout no peace no they bout. Him love chuck it. Obviously badness she talk about. All when others say no, him ready. Him evil, and thus make the place dark. No more loose thing than supposed to go on, one woman said. Look what him did on his birthday. That means that from him born, him for dead. No use to society. Let me just say, that woman right there, so she's hardcore. I don't know where she was talking in the community, right? I'm guessing Gleaner probably had these people one away, right? And obviously their identities are not known, right? But I have to tell you, this woman right there, so she sounds very hardcore. That line is like some kind of gangster philosophy. You hear that? Dead on his birthday, that means if him born, him did for dead. No use society. This lady mean business. It sounded to me like she couldn't wait to see the back of Bun Waste. So, as me say, split justice. One woman I go say boy ain't go out like a top man and it almost make him sound like some kind of hero figure. But the next one I make him know to listen. Good riddance. Good riddance. And the woman says so. But then it goes on to state, sadly, you have a Bun Waste in a heavy garrison. This right here is this is street philosophy. Have a Bun Waste in a heavy garrison. You have multiple Bun Waste in a heavy garrison. Just think about this article. Go read it for yourself. It's on the Jamaica Gleaner. You'll pick out different lines and you see various things. We're going to make you think to yourself, oh, so me and Sir Peter about this other thing mean. You don't learn these things in your criminology course in Canada. You have to see it for yourself. You have to understand what acidity really mean. You have to understand what culture and mindset really mean. Go like a top man. You see young youths in the garrison, the reason why they aspire to be Bun Waste, the reason why they aspire to be bigger crime is because those are the most respected men on the ends. 87s, bad man are the most respected, adored people in the ends. Of course, they also feared. But the reverence with them get, the adoration of them get, no you they get up and go look at work and get a law-abiding job, simply don't get it. They don't. The type of girls 87s get, law-abiding youths in the garrison don't get. Remember, over Lariston, Crab and Scott and Sci-Fi and James Hines and them did have the hottest girl them in Lariston. They had the pick of the litter. The rest of man them have to wait and see after them get who them want get, then the rest of man them have to compete for the rest of the girls them. Who them no want. But they don't teach you that in criminology course. Anyway, Patreon squad, big up on yourself. PIA, you don't know, more life.